Hey, I wanted to come on today and share my thoughts on the situation regarding Sukiana and YK Osiris and a gentleman by the name of A1, if I'm not mistaken. Just to give my thoughts on that. Of course, if you frequent YouTube a lot, you probably have already seen a lot of commentary going around regarding the situation that just recently happened surrounding this young lady. My thoughts is this, and before I even get started, I have to issue this disclaimer to say, okay, everybody, of course, may not agree with your thought process, your perspective. So if you don't like this video or find it offensive, okay. So with that being said, we have this young lady who her persona you can interpret as very salacious. She doesn't really hide during her interviews, if you've seen any, questions or comments regarding sex. So with that being said, what confuses me or is kind of weird about the whole situation now that people are offended about the way YK Osiris spoke to her and even inserting himself in her personal space and trying to give her a kiss. In addition to the how crass and vulgar that the gentleman by the name of A1 was speaking to her. Okay. What I don't get is that we have the mind and the ability to understand what you do, how you purport yourself, what you say, all that plays a part in how people perceive you. I had to even admit that in some personal situations regarding my life and my situation. What you say and do matters. How you purport yourself matters. Even though I think this is implied, but just to issue the disclaimer, it's never okay for anybody to space and want to say or do anything that's very disrespectful, anything sexual. It's out of line, it's uncalled for. But we cannot negate the fact or don't want to bring up or excuse it, that if you purport yourself in a certain way, some people will just try to handle you according to what they see. They'll handle you according to what the streets say. They'll handle you according to how you carry yourself. I mean, some people, they really will try to take something and insult you with it. It doesn't excuse that disrespectful and vulgar and overtly sexual behavior. By any means, it doesn't excuse it, but we do have to take into consideration if that's how you're carrying yourself, even in your entertainment part of your life, it very well will continue to have an effect on how you go forth in every area of your life and what you do. So I see people being offended by the way these gentlemen spoke, and they need to be reprimanded. People should have spoken out. This isn't okay. That's true. But what we do have to understand on the other end of the spectrum, we have to be able to look at Miss Sukiana and say, young lady, as well as the other women that, have had this happen to them. You have to stop and take into consideration, how are you moving? What are you saying? What type of jokes and flirting are you allowing? Because you want to start out like you want to hold out in every area of your life. Trust me, you do. When you don't, a lot of disrespect will come your way. But we can't want to advocate for respect, and you need to know how to speak to a lady and all of that, and not taking the other part of it is you got to present somebody with something that they know, okay, I can't walk up and say anything and everything to this person. Again, nothing excuses. A woman could have been fully clothed and got disrespected, just as well as a woman being naked or half naked or whatever. You do have to understand people acquiesce to what you are doing, what the energy you're giving them, what you're feeding off of. Because after a while, If someone can sit around and talk to you in a certain way and the banter back and forth seems to be rather flirtatious and it seems to take a step further, a step further, a step further, you have to understand, hey, what am I doing to contribute to this foolishness, this disrespect, this vulgarity? So, and another thing I did want to bring up, there is a lady by the name of Lovely T.I. I think her page is called on YouTube, Lovely T.I. TV. She did a great commentary on this particular subject. If you feel compelled, if you want to, go and take a listen to that. And she does a great way of explaining, okay, we cannot argue about this if we don't take a look at this. We cannot speak about this if we don't take a look at as a whole of what we're doing out here. And she expounds upon that in a great way. So I wanted to just give my thoughts on that, because the more I scroll down YouTube and when I watch different commentary and something just doesn't sit well with me, or it just seems odd, or like, why we're not taking this into consideration? That's important. So we need to be mindful. What you do matters. What you say matters. The type of flirting you entertain matters. How somebody can sit down and speak to you in a casual conversations, and that matters. If they feel they can take an inch, they will walk a marathon. Forget that mile. Yeah. That's my thoughts in a nutshell. Does not excuse what these gentlemen said and done, but we do have to be honest with ourselves and realize that it matters with us all. How you move, what you say, what you do, what you expect, what you accept. Because even in just mere interviews and conversations, there's a reason why people feel like they can try to handle you as such, or see what they can get away with. Sometimes we may do everything in the best of our ability to present ourselves in the best manner possible, and some people still will try it. But I'm quite sure if we watch what we say, what we do, what we entertain, even to what we wear, you can see that a lot of people won't feel that comfortable to just come up to you or say anything and try anything and do everything. Won't excuse it all 100% of the time, but the more you start to be consciously aware about what you're presenting, I think we will see that everybody won't feel comfortable enough to come up to us like that. So that's my thoughts on it. I hope these two gentlemen can sit back and look at that and realize it won't cute. Not at all. The same way I hope that she takes into consideration, was there anything that I say and do to contribute to the way it looks like all my interviews or my interactions with the opposite sex are going that way? So that's it from me.